The brutal truth about why you're still broke. If someone took away your paycheck today, how long would you survive? A month? A week? Maybe just a few days? Now here's the uncomfortable question. If you've been working for years, why are you still one emergency away from financial disaster? Why do some people build wealth while others stay trapped in the same cycle year after year? And what if the biggest reason you're still broke isn't the economy, isn't your boss, isn't your family, but something much closer to home? Today, we're going to uncover the brutal truth, a truth most people avoid because it hurts, a truth that could completely change your future if you're willing to face it. Because the moment you stop lying to yourself is the moment your life begins to change. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at money, success, or your daily habits the same way again. Most people think being broke is a money problem. It's not. Let's begin. Being broke is often a behavior problem disguised as a money problem. Think about it. Millions of people earn decent incomes, yet they're drowning in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, constantly stressed, always hoping next month will be different, but next month comes, and nothing changes. Why? Because income doesn't create wealth. Habits create wealth. Money simply magnifies who you already are. If you're careless with $100, you'll be careless with 1,000. If you're careless with 1,000, you'll be careless with 10,000. The size of your paycheck matters less than the size of your discipline. That's the truth nobody wants to hear. People dream about winning the lottery, but studies have shown that many lottery winners eventually lose most of their money. Why? Because money can't solve a mindset problem. You cannot spend your way into financial freedom. You cannot borrow your way into wealth. And you cannot wish your way out of poverty. The harsh reality is this: many people spend years chasing more money while ignoring the behaviors that keep them broke. And that's why nothing changes. But this gets even deeper, because the real battle isn't happening in your bank account. It's happening inside your mind. Every day you make choices, small choices, tiny decisions. Most seem harmless. Buying something you don't need, putting off learning a new skill, scrolling social media for 3 hours, skipping the gym, avoiding difficult work, procrastinating on your goals. None of these decisions seem life-changing, but here's what people miss. Your future is built by your daily habits, not your occasional intentions. The life you want is hidden inside the habits you avoid. Read that again. The average person believes success happens suddenly. One lucky break, one big opportunity, one viral moment. But wealth rarely works that way. Wealth is usually boring. It's built through consistency, through delayed gratification, through thousands of invisible decisions nobody applauds. And that's exactly why most people never achieve it. Because they want the rewards without the sacrifice. They want results without discipline. They want financial freedom without financial responsibility. And life doesn't work that way. Imagine two people. Both earn the same income. The first person spends everything they make. The second person invests in skills, saves money, and builds assets. 5 years later, their lives look completely different. 10 years later, they look like they came from different worlds. The difference wasn't luck. The difference was decisions, and that's where the brutal truth becomes impossible to ignore. Your current financial situation is often the result of years of repeated choices, not one big mistake, not one bad month. Years of patterns, years of habits, years of priorities. Now, before you get defensive, understand this. This isn't about blame. This is about ownership, because blame keeps you powerless. Ownership gives you power. The moment you take responsibility for your future, everything changes. Because now you're no longer waiting for someone to save you. You're no longer waiting for the economy. You're no longer waiting for the perfect opportunity. You're building your own path. And that's where real freedom begins. But there's another psychological trap keeping millions of people stuck. Comfort. Comfort is one of the most dangerous addictions in the world. Because it feels safe, it feels harmless, it feels normal. Yet comfort silently steals your future. Every great achievement requires discomfort. Every promotion, every business, and every investment, every transformation. Discomfort is the price of growth. But most people spend their lives running from discomfort. They avoid difficult conversations, difficult learning, difficult work, difficult decisions. And then they wonder why nothing changes. The cost of staying comfortable is far greater than the cost of growing. Think about that. The discomfort of learning new skills might last months. The discomfort of staying stuck can last decades. One path hurts temporarily. The other hurts permanently. The choice is yours. Now let's talk about something even more dangerous. The illusion of time. Most people live as if they have forever. They tell themselves they'll start next year, next month, next Monday, after the holidays, after things calm down, after life becomes easier. But life never becomes easier. New problems arrive, new distractions appear, and suddenly 10 years have passed. The tragedy isn't that people fail. The tragedy is that people never start. One day becomes day one, Then day one becomes next week, and next week becomes next year, until eventually they wake up wondering where all the time went. Someday is the most expensive word in the English language, because someday often means never. The truth is simple. Your future is being created right now by today's actions, today's choices, today's habits, not tomorrow's intentions. Today. And that's why the people who build wealth think differently. They don't ask, how can I get rich quickly? They ask, how can I become more valuable? They understand that money follows value. The more problems you solve, the more opportunities appear. The more skills you develop, the more doors open. The more disciplined you become, the more trust you build. And trust creates opportunity. Opportunity creates income. Income creates freedom. But it all starts with becoming someone worth paying. This is where the mindset shift happens. Stop focusing on getting money. Start focusing on becoming valuable. Because when you become valuable, money has a way of finding you. The marketplace rewards skills. It rewards solutions. It rewards competence. It rewards consistency. What it doesn't reward is excuses. Nobody gets paid for potential. People get paid for performance. That's why successful people invest heavily in themselves. Books, courses, mentors, training, practice, growth. While others spend money trying to look rich, they spend money becoming rich. And those are very different paths. One buys appearances, the other builds reality. One creates temporary status, the other creates lasting freedom. Now let's make this practical. If you truly want to stop being broke, start with brutal honesty. Look at your life. Look at your habits. Look at your spending. Look at your time. Ask yourself one question. If a stranger lived exactly like me for the next 5 years, would they become wealthy or stay broke? Be honest. Your answer reveals everything. Next, track where your money goes. Most people know where they want their money to go. Very few know where it actually goes. Awareness creates control. Control creates progress. Then start developing high-income skills. Learn sales, communication, marketing, leadership, technology, problem-solving. The world pays people who can create value. Become one of those people. After that, eliminate unnecessary distractions. Every hour spent consuming can be an hour spent creating. Every hour spent complaining can be an hour spent improving. Every hour spent making excuses can be an hour spent building. You don't need more time, you need better priorities. And perhaps most importantly, learn delayed gratification. This single skill can transform your future. The ability to sacrifice today for a better tomorrow. To save instead of spend. To invest instead of consume. To build instead of impress. That's how wealth is created, not overnight, but over time. Slowly, consistently, relentlessly. Now imagine yourself 10 years from today. There are 2 versions of you waiting in the future. The first version ignored this message, ignored the warning signs, ignored the opportunity to change. They're still making excuses, still blaming circumstances, still living with regret, still wondering what could have been. The second version made a different choice. They started. Even when it was hard, even when progress felt slow, even when nobody believed in them, they stayed disciplined, they stayed focused, they stayed committed, and now they're living a life they once only dreamed about. Both futures are possible. The question is simple. Which version of you are you creating today? Because every decision is a vote. Every action is a vote. Every habit is a vote. You are constantly voting for the person you will become. The future isn't found, it's built. Brick by brick, day by day, choice by choice. And that's the brutal truth. Most people stay broke not because they lack opportunity, not because they lack intelligence, not because they lack potential. They stay broke because they refuse to change the habits, beliefs, and behaviors creating their current reality. It's painful to hear, but it's also incredibly empowering. Because if your choices helped create your current situation, your choices can create a better one. You are not trapped, you are not finished, you are not too late. As long as you're breathing, you still have time to build something extraordinary, but you must start. Today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today. The life you want is waiting on the other side of discipline. The freedom you want is waiting on the other side of responsibility. The wealth you want is waiting on the other side of growth. Nobody is coming to rescue you, and that's good news. Because it means your future is still in your hands. Take ownership. Take action. Take control. Years from now, you'll either be grateful you started today, or you'll wish you had. Make sure future you thanks you for the decision you're about to make. If this message inspired you, subscribe to the channel and join a community committed to growth, discipline, success, and financial freedom. And remember this, your bank account may show where you are today, but your habits reveal where you'll be tomorrow. Start building the future you deserve right now.